Geoff's Wonderland.
Welcome to my Wonderland. I'm Geoff. I'm a musician, singer-songwriter, comedian, amateur barista, and social observer. And thank you so much for joining me for what promises to be yet another voyage of discovery as we wade fully clothed into the uncharted waters of my subconscious. Okay, my full name, as some of you know, is Geoff Healy. That's Geoff with a G, by the way, and not to be mistaken for the late Geoff Healy of Canada. Of course, I'm talking about the famous blind blues guitarist and singer who passed away about 12 years ago. Now, to this day, people still call venues I'm playing at and ask, is that really the Geoff Healy performing there tonight? To which the answer is usually something like, yes, Geoff is playing every night this week from 10 p.m. So I'm sure that there are more than a few people who have been very disappointed to discover that A, I'm not Canadian, B, I'm playing the piano, and C, I'm not blind. And once they've heard me perform, they're possibly also disappointed that I'm not dead. Well, something else that's neither disappointing nor dead is the first segment of our show today. And this is one which is fast becoming a legend in the podcasting world. Yes, folks, it's Theory Time.
Yo, you can't know what you can't know. I'm gonna tell you what I think I know. And I know what I know. This is what I know. Theory Time.
And welcome to Theory Time. Now, continuing on our theme of disappointment, we all realise that in life, disappointment is inevitable. I recall a friend of mine telling me years ago that to have expectations is to set oneself up to be disappointed. Now, this is of course very true, but as with so much sage advice, abandoning expectations is more easily said than done. And so I began to wonder, what would happen if we were able to completely remove all expectations from our lives? Now, I'm talking about positive expectations, all right, because bad things are going to happen whether you expect them or not. Of course, one way of doing it would be to somehow develop selective amnesia regarding everyday things usually taken for granted. Now, if you could do that, I reckon your life would suddenly become full of unexpected joy and endless moments of amazement. I mean, can you imagine what it would be like to be able to react with genuine surprise in discovering that the supermarket's open, or that the garbage has been taken away, or that the postman has come, or that your kids have made their own beds and tidied their rooms? Okay, that last one's a bit of a stretch. Or that your husband hasn't burnt the house down whilst trying to cook dinner. On the subject of negative expectations, though, I genuinely believe that, used sparingly, they can actually be extremely useful. For example, the next time that you're obliged to attend an event that you have absolutely no desire to go to, just convince yourself that it's going to be absolutely awful and that you will hate it more than any other experience you've ever had in your entire life. You can't lose, because you'll either be pleasantly surprised that it wasn't that bad, or you'll have the satisfaction of knowing you were right to think that it would be rubbish. Either way, I'd call that a Wonderland win.
This is what I know. Theory Time.
Yes, that was Theory Time, and we're now moving into the part of the show which I like to call Song of the Day. Now, I've resisted the temptation thus far to create a theme song for Song of the Day, but if you would like a theme song to introduce Song of the Day, please write into me and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. In fact, any comments or feedback, I'm all ears, so get in touch. So today's song is a little number that I wrote back in 2005 called Unhappy Anniversary, and as you might guess, it's a ballad. And strangely enough, it's one of the most popular songs on the album, and probably also one of the saddest. And it's interesting the way we like being sad sometimes, isn't it? Anyway, without any further ado, let's hear a bit of the song. I won't play the whole thing. You can do that on the streaming services. But I'll endeavour to keep you a little informed as to how the song came about as it's rolling along. And here it is, Unhappy Anniversary.
Wonder what you'd say if I came to you, apologized for the things I do? Would you listen at all or send me on my way? I have no excuse, it's the way I am.
Sounds like the classic excuse to me.
I didn't fit in with the plan. But then again, maybe you and I can still be friends.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking, right?
Who is right and what is left? Who's the winner and who's bereft? Can't unsay the things we said. Cannot seem to clear my head. Unhappy anniversary, but I'll make it worth your while.
I just thought the idea of an unhappy anniversary was a kind of an interesting twist on the happy anniversary thing. Or at least my brain thought so at the time.
The places that you and I like to go.
I think memories are a really, really powerful thing when it comes to relationships that take a long time to dissolve. You know, it's very hard to let go sometimes when you've got all of these wonderful memories and they keep flooding back. You know, but you think, yeah, but we're in this situation. I got to let go of this now. And it's really, really difficult. And I think that was pretty much the overriding idea behind the creation of that song. But I think as ballads go, I'm pretty proud of that one. So I'd be very happy if you delved into the streaming world and had listened to the entire song, because I think it's not a bad piece of work. Alrighty then. Well, we're heading towards the end of the show, but of course, the show wouldn't be the show without the next segment. And of course, I'm talking about
Geoff's Thought of the Day.
I was thinking about something, I think it was the thought of the day. I think it was the thought of the day.
And welcome to today's edition of Thought of the Day. Now, today's thought involves the two F's. Yes, that's right, furniture and fast food. I suppose that's really three F's, isn't it? Anyway, I was thinking just now that if you were setting up a fast food outlet of some kind, say a Starbucks or a Burger King or a KFC, you'd want the furniture to be comfortable enough to bring the people in, but uncomfortable enough to get them out as quickly as possible in preparation for the next wave of customers. So where do you draw the line? I was sitting in a Starbucks the other day and I realised that this place was actually very well designed, because after about 45 minutes, the chair cushioning started to become not quite as welcoming as it first seemed when I sat down with my bacon and egg croissant roll and caramel macchiato. Now, I realised it might be very difficult to find just the right level to achieve this every time, and so I started to wonder, as we do on the Wonderland, if there could be another way, shall we say, a method of ensuring that your customers become uncomfortable when you, the business owner, need them to be, or need them to leave, which is more the point. The secret, it would seem, is in what can be reasonably concealed in the comfortable-looking chairs. A flat sheet of slowly rising spikes, perhaps? A time-activated series of harmless but slightly disturbing electric shocks? Look, I think the possibilities here are limitless, depending, of course, on what is actually legal. But the benefits are many. Firstly, it's an opportunity for furniture makers to develop a new cutting-edge line of specialised products exclusively for the food and beverage industry, containing high-tech methods of maintaining turnover through a patented system of fully programmable discomfort, within the bounds of what is legal, of course, or at the very least what they can get away with. Secondly, fast food restaurant owners will, having installed these furniture products, almost certainly increase the rate of turnover. And third, and this one is probably the most important of all, people will be less inclined to eat as much dine-in fast food because it's somehow just not as comfortable as it once was. And that's going to be good for everybody's health, right? Another Wonderland win.
I think it was the thought of the day.
And on that very inspiring note, we leave our thought of the day for today. And I can see the gatekeeper is rattling his keys. And so, folks, it's time for us all to sprint madly out of the Wonderland and into the car park for the ride home. But don't forget, there's a lot more of the Wonderland in store, so please do hit that subscribe button, follow the show, and join me for the next episode. And if you would like to drop me a line, you can do that by going to geoffhealy.com. That's GeoffHealy.com. In the meantime, keep breathing, keep on believing, and I'll be talking at you again real soon on My Wonderland.
Gotta get back to Wonderland.